City of San Diego firefighters facing potential layoffs. I have more from the vice president of the union.
San Diego Padres appear to have their next owner, the record-setting deal that's nearing closure.
Apple announces it's closing stores, including one here in San Diego County. Which one and the reason why?
Dead and dying seabirds washing up along the shores in San Diego. What's behind this alarming trend?
And the Unity Fund has now raised $32 million for more than 100 local nonprofits that were at risk of federal funding cuts. A story of safety and stability still ahead.
A bold claim, cornbread that's so good, it's considered to be a cake.
We just need to keep what we have in order to stay afloat.
San Diego's budget crisis is hitting the city of San Diego hard, and firefighters are about to pay part of that price. They say cuts proposed by Mayor Gloria this week could end up jeopardizing your safety. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The mayor's plan addresses a $120 million budget deficit and layoffs for firefighters and the city's bomb squad. News 8's Alex Cheney joins us live from Station 36 in Claremont with more on their concerns. Alex?
Yeah, Marcella, I spoke to Mark Morrison today. He is the vice president of the San Diego Firefighters Local Union 145 and a member of that bomb squad unit. He is concerned about layoffs inside of his own unit and what other proposed cuts to the fire department, what effect they'll have on public safety.
We keep the resources necessary that we have.
Mark Morrison is a 22-year veteran of San Diego City Fire and is the vice president of San Diego Firefighters Union Local 145 and a bomb squad technician. He says any cuts to the fire department's budget will impact public safety.
We understand that this is definitely trying times within the city for budgetary purposes. However, the cuts to an already on the brink department are problematic.
The fire department layoffs include the reduction of a recruitment officer, community resources fire captain, fire information officer, and fire academy instructor. The city says they will save just over $1.1 million from those layoffs, but Mark says someone will still have to do those jobs.
We are also trying to determine who's going to do that work, who's going to answer those phone calls when they come in for the community that needs them.
And the reduction of 3 fire captains and 3 fire engineers within the fire department's dedicated bomb squad, which Mark says responds to over 100 calls a year. The city will restore what's called bomb squad cross-staffing, where a crew will respond to calls on a fire engine and only respond to bomb calls when necessary. The city says they'll save just over $1.6 million. In a press conference on Wednesday, Mayor Todd Gloria said the layoffs come at the risk of cutting important city jobs.
When you look at the data today, we have made substantial reductions in those kinds of positions. And a reminder that that does not come without impact. These are not folks that are just sitting around. These are folks that are doing important work.
Mark says the move will only delay response times during a critical event.
It's going to be who knows how long before someone within the city is available to clear that incident, get back to the fire station, staff the bomb squad apparatus, and then get to wherever it is in the city.
Mark is asking for the money to stay in the fire department's budget so they can continue to serve the community with the resources they do have.
The safety of the citizens is number one. That is what we were responsible for, and we are already stretched thin. So we just need to keep what we have in order to stay afloat.
Mayor Todd Gloria will present his proposed budget to City Council this coming Monday. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney, News 8. Back over to you.
Thanks, Alex. A popular trail in Ruffen Canyon just got a big upgrade.
The trail now connects Mission Valley and Serra Mesa, something the community there has been pushing for more than a decade now. Improvements also include new wooden footbridges, rerouted paths along the canyon, and restored wetland areas, making it all safer and easier for hikers, families, and bikers to get through.
To see some of our natural resources, a lot of beautiful native plants along the trail. A lot of them are flowering right now, so it should be a great time to go for a walk.
Of course, there is wildlife in the area, including coyotes and rattlesnakes, so officials urge you to stay alert and stay on the trail if you visit. The project cost about $200,000, funded by city fees and state grants.
The Padres are on the road hoping to add to an incredible winning streak as they take on the Anaheim Angels tonight.
Short road trip, but what's not happening on the field has Friar fans in a frenzy right now. Sources confirmed to News 8 that a record-setting multi-billion-dollar sale of the Padres could be imminent. Jake Garriani joins us now with details on this big news, Jake.
Yeah, massive. We've kind of been waiting. We knew this was the time frame that this could take place, and now we've gotten a lot more information than we had before. It's exciting. We've kind of been waiting for direction for this franchise, and it feels like that direction is in front of the San Diego Padres. They look like they are about to be sold for a record-shattering $3.9 billion. As Carlo mentioned, sources have confirmed with us here at CBS 8 that the Padres are nearing a deal. That deal was first reported this morning in the Wall Street Journal. We also learned who will be purchasing the franchise. Jose E. Feliciano and his wife, Kwanza Jones, are expected to buy the club for that near $4 billion price tag. The Padres were placed on the market back in November, 2 years after the passing of the late, great Peter Seidler. Recently, groups of possible buyers were trimmed down to 4 parties, with reports of multiple bids coming in at $3.5 billion. But it's Feliciano and Jones going above and beyond at $3.9 billion for the Padres. Feliciano is the co-founder and managing partner of Clear Lake Capital. That's a private equity firm based in Santa Monica. The 53-year-old is also the co-owner of Chelsea, an English Premier Soccer League team, also one of the biggest brands in international sports. Back in 2012, Seidler and Ron Fowler led a group that purchased the Friars for $800 million. This sale would topple the previous record holder of $2.42 billion paid by Steve Cohen for the Mets in 2020. I spoke with the man who broke the story with the Wall Street Journal just a little while ago, Jared Diamond.
Well, we can't overlook the fact that part of why they became such a desirable asset to multiple very rich people, because they look at the Padres and go, it's working, right? It's working incredibly well. They punched above their weight from a market standpoint now, really for this entire decade, essentially, right? And we're now in 2026. So I don't necessarily think this is indicative of the baseball franchise valuation market in general. I think it's a testament to the Padres first and foremost. But look, I think it should be a very exciting day for the history of the San Diego Padres. My understanding is an official announcement expected early next week, maybe even as soon as Monday. And then, the owners will get together and vote in Jose Feliciano and start a new era of Padres baseball. The good news is he's coming in at a time when things with the Padres are very, very good.
It's truly unbelievable when you think about a near $4 billion price tag for the San Diego Padres, which is considered small to medium market team.
Yeah.
And they've, it's a great testament to what Peter Seidler and everybody, the fans, have built here in San Diego, because it's an asset that Jose Feliciano and his wife, Kwanza, believe is worth $4 billion, and something they believe will only grow, of course. These private equity firms are smart people. They're not investing in something they think is going to lose value.
Yeah.
So it's really unbelievable.
And we were just saying the last time a big sale like this happened was, what, 2020?
The second largest sale in MLB history was 2020, Steve Cohen and the New York Mets for $2.42 billion. So this is run laps around.
Far surpasses.
Pro sports team in the United States are an incredible investment right now. $800 million in 2012. It's more than 500% increase in less than 15 years. It shows that the Padres absolutely have improved their own value, but sports franchises as a whole, they have just exploded in value in the country.
And there's been a couple concerns with Jose Feliciano from the fan base, which is totally fair. There's always concerns when a new owner comes in. And I had about a 15-minute conversation with Jared. That whole interview is up on our website and on our YouTube channel. We talk about him owning Chelsea, being a co-owner there. We talk about the private equity firm and whether that's a scary thing or not. And so there's a lot of great information there as well if you want more.
All right, we'll check it out. Thanks, Jake.
All right, a traffic alert for you tonight. Part of the 805 in University City will be closed over the weekend starting at 9 tonight. Caltrans says all southbound lanes between the 5 and Governor Drive will be closed through at least Monday at 5 a.m. If you happen to be headed that way, you will be diverted onto the 5 South. But you can get over to the 805 by taking either the 52 East or the 8 East.
New tonight, tech giant Apple says it will be closing some of its retail stores across the U.S., including one here in San Diego County.
News 8's Shannon Handy tells us which one and the reason why it was picked to shut its doors.
The Apple store here inside the Mershops North County Mall in Escondido is expected to shutter in June. Apple blames declining mall conditions for the closure.
They can't keep stores open, and they take out the good stores.
Well, some shoppers agree Mershops North County has been declining in recent years. Others say the mall is adding improvements, and they disagree with Apple's decision to leave.
I can't think of another Apple store that I would go to. I like to go into there to ask questions about upgrades or even just to look at like Apple Watch bands to look at their new products, so it's a little disappointing.
Apple announced it's closing 3 stores across the U.S., one in Connecticut, another in Maryland, and the one here in Escondido. A spokesperson told me Apple evaluates locations to ensure they're meeting customers' needs, but after the departure of several retailers and declining conditions, quote, we've made the difficult decision to close our stores at these locations.
Does it surprise you they're closing actual stores?
It doesn't.
University of San Diego economics professor Alan Jin says Apple's decision isn't a sign of weakness, but rather strategic growth.
They're still doing really good business. They're opening more stores, both nationally and worldwide. What they're doing is they're shutting down locations that are underperforming. And unfortunately, one of those is here in San Diego.
It's a trend we've been seeing for years. While Apple is a popular brick and mortar for in-person purchases, others have seen fewer visitors following a boom in online shopping. That's led to major stores and malls shutting down. At Mershops North County, for example, the former Sears and Nordstrom have sat vacant for years.
As foot traffic drops, the stores start pulling out, and it's almost then a cascading effect. As more and more retailers pull out, other retailers then follow suit.
Apple says it's still investing in new and updated stores worldwide. As for employees, workers in Connecticut and Escondido will be offered transfers to nearby locations. In San Diego County, that means UTC, Fashion Valley, Carlsbad, and Otay Ranch. But employees at the Maryland store, the first Apple store to unionize, must apply for open roles. Apple says its collective bargaining agreement prevents relocation. We reached out to Mershops North County for comment, but did not hear back. Shanna Handy, News 8.
Thanks, Shannon. Scammers are looking to take advantage of San Diegans looking for a new place to rent.
We'll share what you should be on the lookout for still ahead, plus the troubling trend being reported along our coastal communities.
And what California's Attorney General is calling for just days after a landmark verdict against Live Nation and Ticketmaster.
Onshore flow brought some cloud cover to kick off yesterday. We saw a lot more of that as we went throughout the day. And, well, this is the view right now. Offshore winds picked up, bringing a lot more sunshine. But how long will they stick around? I'll have your answer after the break.